I'm Dave Bulman. I'm the Director of Technology for Virgin Atlantic Airways. So one of the most exciting trends at the moment is wearable technology. And I personally feel the market for wearables within the corporate space will almost certainly exceed the requirements within the consumer space. Within consumers, there's no question that wearables will give you new services and smaller devices to carry around, and that will have a big impact as those mature. But what we've found within Virgin Atlantic is that as a customer-facing organization where we have physical people offering services to individuals, it provides a method to send small bits of information to your customer-facing agents that will enhance the customer interaction. Virgin Atlantic is looking at a number of areas where we can use wearables. We have already done trials with both smartwatches and Google Glass interacting with high-value customers. What we found with wearable glasses, for example, is that it allows them to maintain eye contact with the consumer that they're talking to have a natural conversation while they're accessing information at the same time. Service with a smile and with eye contact is always better than one behind a glass barrier and a counter. If we can get people in front of the consumers, if we can break them away from their computer terminals by using wearables, I think we can make the customer service much, much better than it is today. We're about to launch into a trial which will be invisible to most of our customers, but has a big impact on them, in that we have a role within the company called a turnaround coordinator. They're people who, once a plane lands, they stay with that plane to the point that it takes off again. And they're there in particular to smooth out any problems that occur, to make sure there's no delays to the flight. Now, wearables are a great piece of technology for them, because as it exists today, some of our turnaround coordinators have to go below the wing to check on how the fuel loading is happening, how the baggage unloading is occurring, then they have to run up and talk to the pilots, then they have to go out and talk to the check-in agents about what's the status of the people, and do we have everybody ready to go on board. So they're continually moving. And a wearable, we think, is going to give just the bits of information and the ability for them to interact with some of those other elements of the plane turnaround to make that a smoother experience. And anything which means that we get a plane off on time is of obvious benefit to our customers. When you're looking at wearables, though, you have to think of connectivity, because it really is one of the greatest barriers to making them work. And one of the things we found is that connectivity can be hard to maintain, particularly in airport environments when you have lots of radio waves and lots of physical hard devices to work around. The second area of wearables that is going to need more work is that of battery life. Again, they're small devices. Unless they can operate for a full shift, it can be disruptive in the flow of work that happens. But the impact will be significant. For an engineer to be looking at a part that he's never dealt with before and have a video in his upper corner telling him how does he change that part out and do it, the benefits are obvious. So we think that wearables will have an impact almost throughout our organization. I can see use cases for just about every individual in the corporation. But we're starting with the customer, because that's where we always start.